This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV Profit.
Let's welcome in the management. Mr. Suri, CMD at Morepen Laboratories, is now joining us on the phone line. Mr. Suri, if you could just tell us about the numbers. What were the highlights of this quarter?
Pankaj, this was really a wonderful quarter, and year as a whole since the annual results, there has been a very good command on the results. So, in total revenue, we have added 101 crores from a consolidated basis. Last year, 486 crores. Now we are 587 crores. It's a big jump of 21% on a year-to-year basis. And on the profitability front, also quarterly profit, of course, numbers are small, so it is 179% up. But year-to-year, it is 46% up. On a consolidated basis, profit is 84% up. So this is basically a very stabilized year. And you know that we had restructured the company some 10 years ago. We had heavy debts and we were going through the turmoil of CDR and everything. So this is a clear indication, like a sort of a turnaround, because this year our debt will be exhausted by end of, I would say, June 2018. We will be a debt-free company, and the numbers are getting stabilized, businesses are getting stabilized.
Right. That's why you have in your release said that significantly lower interest cost has strengthened the company's aim to become a debt-free company in the next 12 to 18 months?
That is right. That is right. Because now slowly the debt is reducing, so interest cost will go down to zero next year. And then thankfully whatever EBITDA company is earning, hopefully in next 2 to 3 years we'll have 100 crore EBITDA in our hand. So all the money will be available at the disposal of the company. We can go for growth, we can go for product investment, we can invest in research. So basically that is, I would say, the headline. Now we can go directly into how the sale is coming up. And as you know that we are an API company primarily. 64% of the business comes from API. And that too, out of the total, around 72% of the business of API is from exports. 245 crores is the export for the year, which is 19% up from the last year. That's again a good growth in spite of the no new addition in the products. Existing products have contributed 19%. So coming to the products, so loratadine is our main product, which is around 113 crore, a growth of 13%. Montelukast is a growth driver for the year, which has grown by 34%. It has crossed 100 crores this year. And then the new coming, which is in the line, is rosuvastatin. That's another statin. We already have a torvastatin, then there's a rosuvastatin. This has grown 84%. So these two products are now the products of the highlight for the next 2 years, atorvastatin and rosuvastatin. So again, we will take these to 100 crores. And we do not have a strategy of having 100 molecules in our bucket, but rather we'll have selected molecules with 100 crore each, so that we have a market leadership. Whatever product we do, we have a leadership. So that's on the API front. On the... Hello?
Right. So you can continue, then I'll ask.
So continuing on the second segment, our major area of growth is the diagnostic segment. Here we have grown by 23% total. 77 crore is the total diagnostics. Here we deal with home diagnostic segment. All the glucose monitors, BP monitors, weighing scale, thermal pad, heating pad, thermometer, whatever any device you use at home, that's what we do. And we have few imports, and recently we have started manufacturing of glucose monitors in India, and we have started manufacturing of thermometers also. We are the first company in this category who are taking diagnostics as a mainstay, and Dr. Morepen as a brand. So this is leading that whole pack. We are the #1 company in India today, of course homegrown, largest company who is selling the glucose monitors. So we have over 1 million users in the country now, and with more than 50 million strips every year we sell. So that's basically focusing on the sugar market, diabetic market. On the cardiac front, we have BP monitors. So BP monitors have also grown by 29%. So that's also we'll start manufacturing in India within this year, maybe by Q4 manufacturing will start in India. So net the focus is on increasing export and reducing the imports, so that we can balance out our the foreign exchange revenues. And I already told you that on the OTC front, Dr. Morepen is a good brand, and it is leading by Dr. Morepen. It is leading in diagnostic segment. OTC sector total as a whole, we are 219 crore, which includes diagnostics, finished dosages, and we have brands like Bernol, Lemolate, which are also showing very good growth. 40 to 45% growth in Lemolate and Bernol both. And on the consumer front, we are entering into the service sector. We do not have intention to go to the hospitals, but we have come up with a new concept of heart care. We have a specialized center for heart care. Basically, it's a non-invasive way of treating the blockages of the heart. So we don't have to go for a surgery. So it's a non-invasive way for making a natural bypass. So in this therapy, we take out the blood from the lower limbs and push it toward the heart. It's a very safe FDA-approved treatment. We already opened one center in Hoskas, and once we see the success, slowly we'll roll it to the other cities also. That's a broad.
Right, that's what That's what you mean when you're saying that you are setting up a chain of healthcare centers in India.
That's right, with heart care primarily.
Right, so that will only cater to the heart care needs.
Heart, basically, when you say heart, actually the heart patients already usually have that. Diabetic also, and sometimes they are overweight also. So basically it's a combination of, I would say, lifestyle diseases. So we do the treatment with ECP, which is a FDA approved machine, and then we do the yoga, we go for aerobics, and we do the consultation of the diet, because it's a full package. So
right. Can you also talk about the branded portfolio? Do you think branded portfolio will lead the growth over the years? There has been a lot of brand building exercise by the company. Will that help in growth going ahead?
We have adopted a very unique strategy. We have a lead brand like Dr. Morepen. So Dr. Morepen is one brand. In diagnostics, we have 100 products, but it's Dr. Morepen. Dr. Morepen glucomonitor. We do have little sub-branding, but that's irrelevant. So you simply find Dr. Morepen weighing scale, Dr. Morepen thermometer. So that's the branding. And in the finished dosages, and there is recently a lot of press on this generic medicines also. We do not have a very large portfolio, branded portfolio, which is doctor prescription. That contributes only, I would say, almost less than 5% of our total portfolio. We are more into the OTC and the generic also. But there is some confusion regarding the generics as on today, that it will be prescribed generics or it's branded generics. So, but we have our own 100 crores portfolio on the finished dosage also.
Right. Could you also just tell us about the bulk segment that continues to grow?
Yeah, bulk segment. Our focus would remain on the bulk drugs and diagnostics. These are the two sectors which we are growing, because we have as a strategy always focused on the leadership. So BP glucose remains our forte. Weighing scales is a good market, but there are certain regulations in India which are more costlier to adopt than the normal import ones. So we are trying to see that we should take leadership in diagnostics and the leadership in the API. On API, as and when more and more patents are coming up, and we are investing on R&D now. And for example, rosuvastatin we launched this year, saxagliptin we launched this year. So next year we'll have 2 or 3 more drugs in the pipeline. So slowly every product will become bigger, and moment it becomes to a range of 25-30 crores, then we start focusing on it, that how do we increase the reach and take it to 100 crores.
Right. Sir, thank you so much for taking out time for us and explaining us about what to expect going ahead. That was Morepen Labs talking about the Q4 numbers and how company is on with the restructuring track. They plan to become debt-free by June 2018.